My life is sweet like donut.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be showing you some of the things that I do to reduce my waist. And I just want to put it out there that I am in no way zero waist or low waist at all. I don't even think that I'm even close to being low waist. I just wanted to share with you guys some of the ways that I do to reduce my waist, because I have become very conscious of the things that I consume, since it's been a very big issue from the past couple months, or this whole year, the past few years. But I've only started doing this only early this year. So the first item that I want to show you is very basic, and I'm sure you've already seen it from other YouTubers, and they are the metal straws. And these are the first reusable items that I bought when I wanted to join the low waist movement. I bought this back early this year when I was in school, and I noticed myself buying a lot of ice cap. If you're not from Canada, you know Tim Hortons. It's kind of like an iced coffee frappe drink. And I don't drink coffee, and it's the closest thing that I drink to coffee. And sometimes you just need some sugar rush or caffeine to just get you going. And usually that's the only coffee drink that I buy at school. And I was really frustrated with myself because I'm consuming plastic, and I was kind of pressured to join the low waist. I was kind of pressuring myself to join, but I really wanted to participate because I know it's a good thing and it's for like a better future. And so I bought a couple skinny metal straws, and I started using it. And yeah, so I started using it at school, and I remember my seatmate noticing, and he was kind of kindly kidding. He told me that, oh, look at her, she's saving the turtles and stuff. And I think that what's more frustrating is he knew why I was doing what I was doing, but every time we had class, because that seatmate, he was always within our row in Spanish class, and I had my Spanish class around 3 times a week. And every single class, he always had a Starbucks drink with him. And when I was using my metal straws, like a couple weeks in, I was so frustrated. So what I did is I brought like an extra straw with me, and I asked him, do you want to buy a straw from me? It's only $1. That's how frustrated I was. So he did buy the straw, and he used it that day. I don't even know. I think I was like one of the last classes that we saw each other. I don't even remember, but I still hope that he still has it and he's still using it, because it'd be such a waste if he didn't use it. And I know some of my friends, if you guys are watching this, please use your metal straws. I give you metal straws for free, so please use it to good use. I know you guys love your iced coffees, your Starbucks, your Tim Hortons, your McDonald's iced coffee, so please. I know I'm kind of ranting, but I gave you metal straws for you to use it, and not just for like display, just for the sake of having it. So please use them. Thank you very much. Okay, so the next item that I want to show you guys are these wide straws. I also have these reusable bubble tea cups that I purchased I didn't purchase them, so this is how it worked. I love bubble tea, I love milk tea, I love any kind of boba drink. I knew that I was consuming more boba teas than I was consuming iced coffee, so I searched up if eBay or Amazon had those wide metal straws, and I found like an ad or two. It's very hard to find, but I did bought myself some, and I used it for couple weeks, couple times when I buy milk teas, but it was kind of hard because as you can see, the bottom is flat. I mean, it's not sharp at all, so it's kind of hard poking through the plastic top of the drink because you can poke a hole through it because the straw is flat. So what I would do is I would use a key. My key is to poke a hole in it, and it was just it's kind of all over the place, and it would just spill the milk tea everywhere. So it's kind of frustrated. I mean, yeah, you're not consuming consuming plastic straws, but it's a bit of a hassle to use the flat metal straw. And I realized, I think a couple weeks into using metal straws, that I'm actually I'm still not doing a good thing. I mean, I'm consuming more milk teas and I'm justifying it because I'm using a metal straw, but it's still in a plastic cup, which is, I think, is very it's not a good reason to use a metal straw, because that plastic cup could be an equivalent of like 10 to 20 straws. So I think it's still not a good idea to consume milk tea if you're still using plastic cups. So what I did is I looked for reusable bubble tea cups, and this item was really hard to find online. And then I stumbled upon this business that's based in Vancouver, which is really good because I'm from Edmonton, both in Canada, and they sell these reusable bubble tea cups that are designed for bubble tea cups. It's made out of glass jars, and they just drill a hole onto a plastic lid, and it's like a whole package thing. I think this one costs like about $13 to $15. But by the time I discovered them, they weren't offering shipping at that time, which is really sad because I really wanted one. I really wanted one, because at this point I just told myself that if I don't have like a reusable bubble tea cup to use, I'm just not gonna buy milk tea in the meantime until I find a solution to this. And then I realized that it took me like a couple weeks to realize this. I realized that one of my friends was studying in UBC, which is in Vancouver. So I hit her up and I asked her to buy me a couple of bubble tea cups. And when she comes back, and I messaged her around June or July, and she was gonna come back at the end of August, which was a while. Her sister visited her in Vancouver, and when her sister came back, she brought the bubble tea cups with her, which is really good because I had it earlier than I expected. So I used it, and it was really, I was so happy with it because I didn't have to feel guilty about purchasing milk tea. I was enjoying it without consuming any plastic. And I think I showed you guys like one of the milk tea places here in Edmonton, which is called Gongcha. So if you bring your own reusable bubble tea cup, they give you 10% off every single time. And I hope all the milk tea places do it, because I mean, I've tried it. I think there's about 3 milk tea places that I go to. It's Coco, Cha Time, and Gongcha, and I've only went to Coco and Gongcha, and I was pretty nervous at first to use them because I wasn't sure if they would accept it, because some places would be conscious about like the food cross-contamination, but they did accept it. I was very happy with that. And yeah, I mean, that's the only way that I'm gonna buy milk tea, is if I'm using these cups, if I have them with me. If I don't have them with me, I'm not gonna purchase milk tea. And I think that's just all about self-control and discipline. Okay. And now they actually offer shipping now. They sell their products on Etsy, and I'm gonna put all of that in the description box. Next thing that I wanted to show you guys are these produce bags. I only have one with me, but I purchased a bunch because every time we go shopping, me and my mom, because I became more conscious of the plastic around me, You know how every time you go to the grocery and you go to the produce section, you know, the fruits and vegetables, there's like just a roll of plastic staring at ya, waiting to be used. I just think it's such a waste because if you're in an Asian household, you know how you have like a collection of just plastic bags from like groceries, I don't even know, department stores, shoppers, I don't even know, just a collection of plastic bags. But the plastic bags that are being used in the produce section, they just break so easily because they're so thin, and it's just frustrating because you can only fit so much in there. And that's how I knew that I just had to buy these produce bags, and I know it will just be put into good use. And this is mostly for my mom. Like so ever since I bought this, she already forgets to bring them every single time, and every time she comes home from the grocery store, she would have a plastic bag. She would have like her vegetables bagged in plastic, and I would be so frustrated, and she'd be really sorry. She was like, I'm so sorry, I forgot to bring them out of the car or whatever. Like, she always forgets them, that I myself went out of my way and just put them in the back of her car, because she always like does this spontaneous grocery shopping, because usually sometimes we would do like that once a month grocery shopping where we buy everything that we need, like cereal, milk, eggs, like food, meat, or whatever. But sometimes when there's like some couple things missing, she would still go to the grocery store or like a small grocery store, and she would still need some kind of bag, of course. And usually she would need some vegetables, because vegetables get bad easily, and that's usually what she buys the most. And she would always forget to bring this, and this is like the item that she needs the most. So, next thing that I want to show you guys are shampoo bars, conditioner bars, and soap bars. When I'm back in the Philippines, all we used were soap bars, and then when we came here, apparently soap bars are not a thing in Canada. I'm not sure, but that's where me and my siblings learned to use body washes, and they're in these plastic bottles, and that's what I've been using for years, and I've been actually loving it because they smell so good. They smell really good. So when this low waste thing became trendy, people started suggesting that we should use products with no packaging, and one of these products are soap bars, and one of the big brands that sell them are Lush. I mean, they don't even, I think they do sell soap bars, but what I did purchase from them, so I'm currently using a soap bar and I'm almost done, so I purchased a shower jelly in advance, and it's called Conga, and okay, it's this thing, very jelly-like. So what I did, as you can see, it's cut up in 4, because I read in an article that it would last longer if you cut it up into smaller pieces instead of just using the whole thing as a whole. So that's that. And what I suggest doing if you are buying from Lush, I asked the person who was working there if they had a recycling thing, and I already knew about the pots. I think all their pots, the black ones and the clear ones, are not virgin, and they're made from 100% recyclable material, which is really good. And they have this program where if you bring 5 pots back to them, you get a free facial mask. I'm not sure, I haven't bought from Lush in years because it's a bit expensive, but I've been trying to invest in products that are low packaging or no packaging at all and are recyclable, and I know these guys are going to be recycled when they go back, so I'm really happy with that program. This girl told me that they can take the plastic bottles back. So what you do when you have these plastic bottles, you have to recycle them in your own home. And as we all know, about 90% of recycled materials are not being recycled. So we might as well just think about it as trash or garbage that recycles are not actually being recycled, they're being thrown out the landfill, which is not good. So if you do want to buy something in a container, purchase them in a pot, like a recyclable pot, which is really good. Some of the items I'm going to show you are gifts that I got for my birthday. These gifts, I really love these gifts because I asked for them, and these are the shampoo bars. Okay, I got this, it's kind of wet. I got this blue one. I'm really happy with the shampoo bars because it's really easy to use. You just get your hair wet and then just scrub it on your scalp, and it lathers so easily. You just rub it and it acts like an actual shampoo without the packaging. And when you're all done with this one, you just buy another one, and you don't even have to recycle the bottle because it doesn't come in a bottle. It's really good. Another thing that I asked my friend to buy me is conditioner bar. Okay, it comes in this, it's like an oval shape, and what you do is after you shampoo your hair, while your hair is still wet, obviously we just rub the conditioner onto your hair. And it's a bit hard because I have a pretty thick hair and I use a lot of shampoo when I still used liquid conditioner. So just rub the conditioner bar into, usually I would concentrate at the ends of my hair because that's where it's the most dry. So the next thing that I want to show you guys is a bamboo toothbrush. So I switched to a bamboo toothbrush because I think these are one of the things that I switched to pretty late. And the thing is, just like plastic straws, plastic toothbrushes cannot be recycled as well because of its small parts. It can get stuck in the machinery, so it just end up in the landfill. I did not only buy like a couple, I actually bought a lot. When I say a lot, around more than 100. It came in a bag with 10 toothbrushes inside, and it was pretty cheap. And when I thought about it, I was like, why don't I sell these? I mean, it's not even about the money. My goal was to spread the word in my city that in a small way, hopefully I'm helping out in the community. I don't even know. Next thing that I want to show you guys is this simple is an Urban Outfitters shopping bag. So why am I showing you this? So what I did, whenever I have my backpack with me or my crossbody bag, I would just fold this up in like a small thing. It's pretty foldable. I mean, it's really foldable. I will always bring it with me whenever I plan on going to the mall, or whenever. I just bring it with me every single day actually, because you never know if you want to buy something spontaneously, and that happens a lot. And I'm really proud of myself for bringing it every single time, because it saved me from bringing back plastic bags to my house a ton of times. And it's crazy because I used to shop a lot years ago, and I still have those paper bags and the plastic bags from my years and years of purchase in my closet right now, because I do reuse them. I just don't throw them away. I do reuse them when I need them, and sometimes I even use the bags for like gifts. And since I only give gifts to my friends now, I mean, they don't even mind like what bag it came in with. It's just a bag. I mean, as long as you have a gift, I mean, that's all that's important, right? If you're a girl and you want to join or participate in the low waist movement, probably have this problem too, is how can you reduce your period waist? I mean, for sure, if you're not into the low waist movement, you're probably using pads, tampons. Yeah, it's either just pads or tampons. And I actually had this dilemma. It came in my mind while I was on my period, and I told myself, oh my god, I was doing it. Okay, this is kind of nasty, and I really apologize. I was wrapping my pad up, and I was changing into a new one, and I told myself, oh my god, I am still very young and there's still a lot of years ahead of me, and I was still gonna have my period, but I do want to reduce my waist. And how can I do that? And at this time I was not aware that reusable pads and menstrual cups existed. I didn't do research on it yet, but I don't even know. I think a week later or a couple days later, this Instagram ad came up on my phone, and it was an ad on menstrual cups, and I actually gave it, and I was like, how did my phone know? And so I gave it, and I bought 2 menstrual cups. I bought like a smaller and a bigger one. And when I first used it, I was very intimidated because I didn't know how to use it. Of course, I did my research. I watched a couple of videos on YouTube on how to use it, and it was kind of scary. It was very scary, I'm not gonna lie. And now I'm pretty good at using it now, but it did take me a couple cycles to get used to. I don't know. I'm more of a pad. I use pads more than tampons, but reusable pads, I mean, the whole process of cleaning the pads and stuff, if you're doing a reusable pad, I don't mind it, but it's so expensive. Since it is a reusable pad, it's so expensive. And since a menstrual cycle can last 3 to 5 days, of course you can't only just buy one pad, you'd have to buy multiple ones, and I couldn't afford it, so I just settled for a menstrual cup. And I had a couple, and I still had some leftover pads, and I used them. I was pretty guilty about that. I still use those disposable pads, but when I ran out of pads, I had no choice. Actually, I had no choice but to use the menstrual cup, because I would be more frustrated with myself if I bought new pads that were on sale, that were cheaper than the menstrual pads and the reusable pads, when the menstrual cup was right there in front of me waiting to be used. And I've used it for 2 cycles now, and I've been pretty happy with it. Still not perfect. I would still get a leak or 2, and I still use panty liners, but I'm pretty happy with that, with using the menstrual cup. But I do still want to invest on a what am I saying? I still want to invest on reusable pads, because I just think that's what I'm comfortable with, and I don't even mind like the washing part, because that's what they do back in the day, right? Like when I thought about it, I didn't even research about it, but before pads were like, the disposable pads were invented, like what did women use back in the day? They must have used some kind of reusable pads too, right? So the next things that I'm gonna tell you are just some tips and tricks to lower your carbon footprint. So for those of you who don't know, what is a carbon footprint? So a carbon footprint is the total emissions caused by an individual, event, organization, or product expressed as carbon dioxide equivalent. So for example, how to reduce your carbon footprint. So one of the easiest things to do is, instead of using your car to go to some place, commute. Use your bike, walk. I don't have a car. I think a couple years ago I was planning on buying one, but when I got into the low waste movement, I just thought it was better to just use the bus. I mean, it reduces your carbon footprint. And my mom, I mean, we have a family car, and it's not like I bus every single day. If no one uses the car, if someone is available to drive me to somewhere, I do drive, so I still consume a pretty high carbon footprint, but I reduced it by using the bus when I go to work, when everyone's using the cars. Another way to reduce your carbon footprint is to not use your dryer. Back in the Philippines, people who own washing machines and dryers have this stereotype of being rich. My family back in the Philippines did not own any kind of washing machines or dryer. We used to hand wash our clothes and you would air dry them. That's how it always was for years. And then we came here and we had our own house and we owned a washing machine and a dryer. So if you use any of your appliances at home, they're all using some kind of fuel which is bad for the environment, which increases your carbon footprint. So one of the ways that I like doing it is whenever we do our laundry, instead of using your dryer, we would air dry it. And when we came here, we already had a dryer, but my mom bought a rack, an air drying rack. It's like this big rack we bought from IKEA, and that's where you hang your clothes to dry. And I think it's better for your clothes and it's low carbon footprint, and I think it's pretty good. And I also think that it's better to hand wash your dishes instead of using your dishwasher, because if you're using an appliance, that's when your carbon footprint goes up. Those are some of the things that I do to reduce my waste. Of course, I am still really far away from like the goal that I want to achieve, and I still do consume and throw out a lot of waste, but I am doing my best because I live with my mom and my siblings, and it's very hard to do the low waste movement because, you know, it's a privilege and not everyone can afford the zero waste lifestyle. And of course, I would still be investing in the near future for stuff like, I don't know, toothpastes, like refillable toothpastes that don't come in plastic tubes. That I think I've seen a few in some of the zero waste stores. I think those are the ones that come in a glass jar and you just dip your damp toothbrush and it's like a toothpaste powder. Yeah, just being mindful of the things that you buy. And of course, I think the number one rule that we should all follow is just reduce your consumption, because that is the main thing where trash and waste comes from, is from consuming stuff and products. If you do want to consume, be conscious of what you're buying. Just realize that a product these days always comes in a plastic packaging, and if it's possible that you can buy it in no packaging at all, then that would be great. If I do get an updated list of how I reduce my waste, I will let you guys know very soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye!